The Oklahoma Sooners defeat the Minnesota Golden Gophers 3-2 in the Round Rock Classic this weekend, and Kyson Witherspoon pitches an amazing 7 innings, while Kyle Branch also makes a crucial defensive play in the eighth inning to secure the victory. We're going to talk about all of this and so much more here on the Sooner Spotlight. Sooner Nation, welcome into another episode of Sooner Spotlight, a very special one because we are able to officially announce that we are a member of the OU Insider content lineup. Very excited to be a member over there and to help them grow what I believe is the greatest Oklahoma community and the best place to find all of the inside scoop, find out all the news and everything, so much more. Everything about OU Insider. Just go check them out. The only way you can find out is not by taking my word for it, by going and checking out ouinsider.com. Become a member today. Like I said, I believe that this is the best membership that you can possibly buy to keep up to date with the Oklahoma Sooners, really in any sport that you're looking to keep up with. Parker Thune and Brandon Drum invited me over there, so I'd want to give them a shout out and tell them I appreciate them for taking a chance on me to collaborate with my brand in order to try to build up, again, what I believe is the best community out there for Oklahoma Sooner fans. So Sooner Nation, go check out ouinsider.com, get signed up today, and join in on all the action because there's so much over there that keeps you up to date with everything Oklahoma Sooners. Of course, you can follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Real Josh Mahler, and find us on Instagram at Sooner Spotlight. That's the best way to keep up with the show and see everything that's going on. And you can find all of our merch over at Soonerspotlight.com to help support the show just a little bit further. But let's go ahead and dive into it because Oklahoma baseball getting off to a fast start, looking very good as they climb to 4-0. And really, what an exciting start to the Round Rock Classic when you take a look at this first game for the Oklahoma Sooners and claiming a thrilling 3-2 victory over the Minnesota Gophers at Dell Diamond. And this is a big-time win, not necessarily for any other reason other than the fact that I think these close games matter. And we'll get to that quite a bit throughout this episode, I'm sure. But I think that this type of game is going to really build this team, and I think it shows the resilience of this team overall. Starting off talking about the pitching and the sharp defense that went on in this battle, really on both sides. We're going to talk more about the Oklahoma Sooners and how great their defense was because that's what we do on this show. We're not going to hype up Minnesota, although I will give them their flowers. They played an outstanding game, and this game was just back and forth, and it was a nail biter down to the very last inning, and it was nerve-wracking for us as Oklahoma fans as we looked at this one and saw how close it got. And Oklahoma gets momentum, but then Minnesota takes it right back, and it seemed like that went on back and forth all game long. Of course, the junior right-handed pitcher Kyson Witherspoon and freshman second baseman Kyle Branch both stepping up as the heroes today and looking like absolute monsters over there on defense, and especially Kyson Witherspoon with an outstanding game on the mound, and we're going to talk about him. But with this game, Oklahoma secures their 4th straight victory to launch their season with confidence and plenty of energy, and this is exactly what they need. They need big-time games like this, and again, close games and games where you've got to keep on fighting, games that you can't give up at any moment, and that's exactly what they did today. First, starting off with Kyson Witherspoon and his dominant outing. Kyson Witherspoon, he truly shined on the mound, and he showed everyone that he really means business. And this guy, we knew that he was going to be big. He's kind of been on the talks of MLB scouts, but this game really showed just how dominant he can be. And so far, through 4 games, he's looked phenomenal, but this game specifically, and seeing how impressive he was, delivering 7 incredible innings. Very, very impressive. And allowing just 3 hits and 1 earned run all game long throughout the 7 innings that he played. His fastball was just on point. It zipped through that Texas air like nothing, and man, it was on point. He was able to command it. He was able to put it right where he needed to. He was able to really keep this Minnesota lineup really guessing, and they were off their game all game long. They're a decent offensive offensive team, and they're able to get those bats swinging. But today was not showcasing any of that with Kyson Witherspoon and what he was able to do. The Sooners head coach Skip Johnson, he even described Kyson Witherspoon as electric after the game and went on saying Kyson's ability to command his fastball and attack hitters set the tone for us tonight. And that absolutely was the case. Without Kyson Witherspoon's performance and him being zoned in for as long as he was and as consistently as he was, the Sooners don't win this type of battle. And the Sooners have shown in the past that there's been times where, and not even just the Sooners, I think we see this all over baseball, is you win and lose these games a lot of the times based on how good your pitcher is pitching. And Kyson Witherspoon was willing to take on that pressure, and he went in there and took that pressure and just ran with it. He showed everybody that he meant business. He meant, he was really willing to take on this pressure and put the team on his back. And keep on carrying, keep on going forward. I think Kyson Witherspoon's incredible performance, it was much more than just this win today. There was a lot that went into it. I think this win means a lot for the team going forward, but for him, it really made a splash, not just obviously for the Sooners, but for him and his personal growth going forward. MLB scouts in attendance are buzzing with excitement over this kid and seeing what he's able to do just as a junior. So, he's showing a lot of poise, and I think impressive velocity too is something that these scouts are looking at with Kyson Witherspoon and seeing that, man, this guy's really got something special, and he's expected to shine in the upcoming MLB draft. And talking about Kyson Witherspoon and how important he is and how big this is for him and his career, I think the Sooners, as they transition into the SEC, and I know we've been talking about this transition all season long, or really all year long for each team as they're transitioning, but this is the first season that this baseball team is going into the SEC, and it is crucial. But I think as they transition with Kyson Witherspoon's rise, I think him as a frontline ace could be huge for the team and going into the future. I think the future is looking bright for this team, and I think this type of close, gritty win is absolutely necessary because guess what? You're going to have close and gritty wins in the SEC, especially when you get to SEC play. The SEC is obviously one of the best conferences in just about every sport, and that's why Oklahoma joined the SEC, and baseball is 100% one of those sports where the SEC really dominates. So these kinds of close games, I think they say a lot for Oklahoma going forward. But let's kind of move on with the game and moving away from Kyson Witherspoon. As amazing of a performance as he had, he was not the only player out there on the field today. It was a very tight game, all game long. It really felt like the momentum swung back and forth constantly throughout the game, and it was a pitcher's duel. Like I said, Kyson Witherspoon had an outstanding game on the mound, but Minnesota's pitching staff did very well. They performed extremely well, keeping this team that was able to explode off 36 runs against Lehigh last weekend. Minnesota was able to keep them quiet, much quieter than their previous outing. And so, that was absolutely impressive. And for much of the game, Oklahoma was holding on to a tight 2-1 lead as they entered into a very thrilling seventh inning, and I think that seventh inning was very big. And again, even though Oklahoma didn't score as much as they did in any of their last three games to start the season, they still remained very poised, and it didn't seem like they ever got their heads down. It didn't ever seem like they counted themselves out. Instead, they really cleverly seized opportunities when it counted the most. I think they found opportunities and attacked those opportunities. For example, center fielder Jason Walk, he made a fantastic play, doubling and scoring. And then you've also got the right fielder, Sam Christensen, who contributed with a solid 1-for-2 performance and included 2 walks. And it really proved this team's resilience overall in this tight matchup where it's constantly going back and forth, and it shows just how tough this team can be. And I think that says a lot. Again, going into the SEC and going into conference play, this is going to be very crucial going forward. But moving forward and showing one of the defining plays, one of the defining moments, and it was with bases loaded, 2 outs. And Minnesota's reliever, Will Whalen, I believe is his name. He was called in for he was called for a balk. Shortstop Jackson Willits was able to jog home for from third for a third score and extended Oklahoma's lead now to 3-1. And this was a crucial turning point in the game, an error that really hurt. And it was at a crucial point, too. Again, bases loaded, and now you allow somebody to just walk on home and just give that score away rather than making it earned. That hurts a lot. And you could get your head down and you could give up at that moment, but that was not the case for Minnesota. They still fought back, and they were able to score another run, narrowing the gap now to 3-2. Again, just a 1-point lead for the Oklahoma Sooners. And as anticipation filled the air, freshman Kyle Branch stepped up, and he was ready in this nail-biter. Again, just a freshman, and what he was able to do was just absolutely incredible in that 8th inning. He was ready to shine, and what an incredible moment for really everyone involved, but especially for Kyle Branch, cementing himself on this team as a crucial player. Because as Minnesota threatened to tie or even possibly take the lead, Kyle Branch delivers a huge play, again, that is going to linger in our memories for the remainder of this season for sure, because he goes over and he fields a sharp grounder over to his right. The second baseman, he then lays out and at a full stretch and is able to snag the ball in the webbing of his glove and firing it off to the first baseman, Taki, to end the inning. And just, again, a moment that could have turned south. It could have gotten past him and turned into a score for possibly a tie and maybe even a lead for Minnesota. Big time moment, and the crowd absolutely erupted at Dell Diamond, and Oklahoma's dugout, I think at that moment, not only cheering out of excitement, but I think they were able to let out a very big exhale. Skip Johnson, Oklahoma's head coach, talked about this post-game and said that, that play, he literally described it as just flat out fantastic. There's not many words that you can describe an outstanding play like that. But he went on saying that Kyle's been a spark for us all week. He showed up huge right there. And of course, I think this is just showing that he's cementing himself into this, an important part of this team. He's off to a really good start right now, too, batting .500 in his first 4 collegiate games. And he's not just a powerful hitter, but obviously in this game, he's showing that he's a fantastic defensive player. Again, becoming an essential part to this Oklahoma infield and the batting lineup. I think he's showing that in both sides of the ball. I think he's really showing that both offensively and defensively. And his outstanding play. I think his outstanding play really helped showcase, it really helped kind of secure Kyson Witherspoon's performance. And it was able to keep that bullpen in a great position with Kyson Witherspoon. If you let up some kind of score there, this game turns south, and it really takes away from an outstanding game from him. But closing it out, it was an absolutely amazing finish. And Oklahoma's relievers, they were stellar in the 9th inning, really kind of stopping and slowing down Minnesota's final efforts to clinch that 3-2 victory for the Sooners. And Minnesota fought back with a lot of resilience for themselves as well. Again, I want to give them flowers where flowers is due, because they did have a great game, and they kept this very close all the way through against a very good Oklahoma team, in my opinion. And I think this win, again, I think it highlights the Sooners' ability to really persevere in these tight matchups, which is going to be crucial going down the road. And it's going to be a huge asset as they gear up for SEC play this upcoming spring. It's going to be very big. Looking ahead, Oklahoma's off to an incredible 4-0 start, if I can get myself to stop stumbling over my words. But, of course, the Oklahoma Sooners are about to face the powerhouse number 7 Oregon State on Saturday. And then again, they're going to take on number 2 Virginia, and that should be on Sunday. So these matchups are going to be fantastic tests for this Oklahoma Sooners team and this really young and very talented squad. And they're going to be going against some of the best teams out there in the nation. And so I think this is really going to offer us a sneak peek at what their true potential into the new conference could be. Hey Sooner fans, did you enjoy this video? Well, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What are you doing if you've made it this far and haven't already? You should be able to find that subscribe button over here. And then if you want to see full episodes, we've got those up here and clips right down here. So go check that out. But We thank you all so much for all the love, all the support. We'll catch you next time. Boomer.